big beard.
Hey, Kayla.
Hi, Iyanna.
Welcome to Fill in the Blank podcast.
Welcome.
Fill in the blank.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Fill in the Blank podcast. I know we're in the same clothes, so no, we're not dirty. We just recorded a couple episodes in a day because we got a busy schedule. Yeah. So we're back. Hello, Iyanna.
Hey, Kayla.
How are you again?
I'm doing great, Kayla.
That's great.
Fabulous.
So today we're going to do things a little different. I know that you always hear, sometimes Ariel will talk a little bit in the background. You don't hear as much of Ajah talking, but today we have them here with us behind the scenes, but they're going to be having the conversation with us today.
Insight.
Yeah, so I'm super excited about that because we have a lot of great conversation, the four of us.
Yeah, and I wish you guys could hear a lot of them because they just flow just so well.
Yeah, so now you all will be able to experience a little taste of the full Fill in the Blank podcast crew. So say hey, y'all.
Hey.
Yeah, big
so
Sagittarius energy.
Period.
Big Sag energy, which leads perfectly into the topic because today we're talking about horoscopes.
Wait, are you guys not gonna do the hey, Iyanna?
They did.
We did it.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. But we don't really have anything to say about how we're doing because you already heard that.
From the last episode.
Yes.
Can you predict the future?
I'm going to predict that grad school is going to be still hard,
Let me think. What do I have coming up this week?
No, next week.
Oh, next week. Oh, we have our dance class.
We're going to Heels class.
I'm so excited. So what is it? Trey Songz panty drop off?
Yeah, this right here's a panty drop off. I know Trey Songz is pretty controversial right now, though.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
Can't deny this song though.
Wait, why is he controversial?
What?
Why
It
is
wasn't
he
it the
not
stuff with
happy
Keke
because,
Palmer?
What happened with Keke Palmer?
Isn't that what? Or it was something else.
I mean, I think that there have been at least 7 other women who come out since Keke Palmer.
Wait,
Yeah.
saying what?
Rape allegations. Or at least sexual harassment.
Wait, don't make me feel like I can't go to the class.
I mean, would you support R. Kelly?
No.
Hell
that's the
no.
thing.
It's hot.
Heels class in the apartment or what? I mean,
Classical music.
right. We might have to switch it up because yes.
Okay.
Any other things that you could predict about
That's
your
really
future?
all I have for this week. So I'm pretty sure this week will be just pretty typical for me. Very boring, probably.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to plan some. I want to do oysters next week.
Yes.
I've been trying to do them with the group for a long time.
Yes, I want to
So,
do oysters.
are you
I want to
guys
go to
gonna be able to
Chicago
try?
Oyster House though.
They're just so expensive.
They are
I
expensive.
took Raven there and I spent like $300 because I took it for her birthday.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yikes.
It's pricey.
Yeah,
It's pretty
And
expensive.
I just like those dollar oysters, man.
I know. At the spot.
Yeah, and
We're
I
not
like the
saying
crickets.
the spot. Iyanna.
What?
I cannot support the
Are
crickets.
you going to eat a cricket if you come?
I would never do that in my life.
Are you serious?
I'm like not
Ariel?
open.
Asia, would you
I've
eat one?
Yeah, I told you, remember?
Oh yeah, you did say you said you try one. See?
Yeah, no. I will not be trying a cricket.
Yeah, no.
The first time she brought them out, I was like, you're on your own. I can't help you with
They're
that
good, bro. They taste like good seasoned chips.
one. Nah. I'll just have some seasoned chips for that taste.
Okay, whatever. Anyways.
Wait, are you gonna ask us
Ask you
how
what?
we think? Are
Oh,
we
shit.
just-
Oh, yeah.
Are we a
Ariel said, you know what? Let me teach y'all how to do something.
No.
We're not used to having you all here, in this capacity.
How's your week gonna be?
Well, if I could predict the future,
Uh-huh.
so this will be after I go to Jamaica.
Oh
Yes.
So it should be a really good week.
Yes.
I should be vacation. I'm going for a union, so I'm
Yes.
that's
celebrating
beautiful.
marriage. So I'm hoping to come back, sunny skies
Yeah.
and good vibes.
You're right.
That's going to be so good.
Oh, and the bachelorette party would have already happened, which I plan on going to.
Yeah.
I'm inviting myself to a bachelorette party.
Yeah.
She's crashing one.
I'm
You have to
crashing
take
it.
pictures.
I will try.
Okay.
I
know you're not a
know.
picture girl. I always remind my friends, and Asia normally reminds me to take pictures.
Yeah.
So, just for the memories, y'all.
I'll try. I'm more like, the disposable cameras.
Yeah.
I'll take hella pictures with the disposable, but if it's like a real, I'm like, oh, it's too clear.
Would you
Yeah.
do like the Polaroids?
I would, yeah.
I'll bring my Polaroid tomorrow.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. I love
Iyanna
that.
is crashing a bachelor party,
She
by the way.
is.
Like,
Legit
I was barely
crashing.
invited. so-
Legit crashing. I'm just like, hey, I want to come. She's like,
Okay. Asia, how about you?
In my Iyanna voice, I declare that it's going to be a great week.
I love that.
It's,
love that.
It's going. I have a great feeling. I feel like I see the light at the end of the tunnel because
Yes.
it's been dark. But I feel like it's going to be a great week. I feel like there's so much coming up that I don't even know what's in.
Yeah.
But it's like I feel a shift happening.
I love that. It's always the shifts, man. Those are harder to get through, but something good is coming out the end of it.
Yeah.
Every time.
That's so good. I love that.
Okay.
So this is kind of perfect because we're talking about horoscopes a little bit.
Yeah.
A lot of y'all have, as we said at the end of the last episode, have asked us about what our zodiac signs are.
Yeah.
We've gotten a lot of wrong guesses.
Yeah.
Mainly just that everyone thinks that we're Aquarius. And me and Iyanna are not the same sign.
Aquarius is nowhere near in my chart.
Yeah, I don't think I have any Aquarius in my chart either. So that's kind of funny. But we are going to talk about like our different signs and how we see those things manifesting in our lives.
Yeah.
So, and then we're also including Ariel and Ajah in on the conversation for them to share theirs. It'll be interesting to see like how all of our signs like work in cohesion of us working as a group. Like, the different things that show up.
Yeah.
So everybody pull out your stuff.
Everybody pull out your Bible.
Yes. We're using the pattern, y'all. We're using the pattern app.
I love the pattern app, man.
Yeah.
Sponsor us the pattern.
Okay.
Right.
So let's start with our sun signs.
Okay. Sun signs.
Iyanna, what are you?
Wait,
Taurus.
what is your sun sign? Like, what is it?
Like,
oh, right.
what it
What is the
stands
description?
Oh,
of
okay,
the
okay.
sun
Yes,
sign?
you're right. So sun sign is core identity, self-image.
Core identity and self-image. Okay.
So you are a
I'm a cusp baby, but mine is technically Taurus.
Taurus. Ariel.
My sun sign is a Sagittarius.
Ajah.
Mine is also a Sagittarius.
Sagittarius in the corner.
All right.
And then I am a Scorpio.
What are the general characteristics of those? So, let me see. Mine is apparently I'm pragmatic. Luxury loving? No, I'm broke. And sensual, which I mean I am, but I just don't show that side. And I have to be comfortable in order
To show that.
to show that.
Yeah. Scorpio is private, powerful, and intimacy loving. I don't know about private. Like, I mean, I guess in terms of people that I'm not comfortable with, for sure.
You're selective.
I'm very selective. But if I feel comfortable with you, I will
You're an open book.
I will be an open book.
Yeah.
But with other people, like I think about like in my workspace, like being at work, a lot of my like coworkers, they don't know anything about me.
Yeah.
And I don't try to engage in conversation for them to know who I am in that kind of way. So
I see
yeah.
my job as come in, do my work, get my check, leave.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like we're supposed to answer Sagittarius. Do you have the?
Yeah, what are you? Let me see.
Where did you guys get
Sagittarius,
that?
Oh, I said
Asia.
free
Yeah.
spirited, unfiltered, and adventure seeking.
Oh, all of me.
That sounds
Yes.
I think everything but adventure seeking.
for you.
Yeah, I'm not.
There must be something
Anymore.
in your chart that keeps you
And
from.
as we dive in, I
As we
think
dive
I
in.
know what signs
Yeah.
hold me back from being that adventure seeker.
Mhm.
I'll go
Yeah.
and take an adventure, but I feel like people conflate like adventure and thrill seeker.
Yeah.
And I'm not a thrill seeker at
Yeah.
all. So when I'm like, oh no, I'm not gonna do that. But you're a Sagittarius, you should be adventurous. That's not adventure.
Yeah.
Jump out of a plane.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
Right. That's an adrenaline junkie.
Right. Like I'm not interested.
But you used to be, because I think that in a certain stage of your life, you definitely were more
I was an
adventurous.
intoxicated thrill seeker. Like, hence intoxication. Like, things I would not do soberly.
Yeah.
If I had alcohol, liquid courage was like times 45 for me.
Yeah.
So I would be like, oh yeah, I'll do it.
I just think
Let's
about
jump.
the one thing
I got
that I
some
think about with you is when you were I remember one day you called me and you were like, I'm about to go to California tomorrow. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, like I got invited to go to California. I ain't got to pay for nothing. I'm going. I'm like, I want to go.
But that's not a thrill to me.
See, but
that's
something like that, I wouldn't have up and done something. No.
Well, I'll do that.
That would have, like, because it's so unplanned and so sudden, it would have freaked me out.
Okay, so then in that, I am adventurous.
Yeah.
But I
Go
don't.
with the flow. It's to go with the flow.
Right.
Yeah.
But
That's
I'm
where it
not a
comes
thrill
from.
seeker, and I don't like
Okay.
identifying as adventurous because then people are like, oh, do you want to, like
Do
I said, jump
this
out of the plane?
right.
And I'm like,
No.
I'm good. I'm good, love.
I would say like I used to be more thrill seeking because that's why I used to like scary movies and haunted houses or just like things that'll just bring out that thrill in me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still adventurous, but I'm not as like thrill seeking.
I see.
Yeah.
But I love a good adventure. I like doing whatever.
Are
I
you
just
go
wanna
with the
do
flow
whatever.
too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
very much so.
I think
Yeah.
that's where it comes in. As you mature, it starts to
Yeah.
refine a bit, and I think it just turns into like-
Exactly.
Yeah.
okay. What's
That's
the next
funny. Your rising sign. So the rising sign or the ascendant sign is how others perceive you. So on the
Yes.
outside looking in, this is what people may think that you are. Like you showcase these characteristics.
Okay, so this is where I get kind of frustrated because so my ascendant is Sagittarius.
Okay.
And so everyone sees me as this one way, and it frustrates me because I'm like, guys, that's a very, very small segment of who I
Right.
am. And they kind of diagnose me with certain issues that they believe are associated with the, like, how they see me being so soft and like, whatever.
Mm-hmm. You're like,
That ain't me.
Yeah.
So then when I show a little bit more too, they're like, what is this?
Yeah.
That's not you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how you gonna tell me how I am?
right.
Mhm.
How do you know what me is?
Exactly. Shoot.
So what are you, Ariel? What's your rising sign?
My rising is Aries.
Aries,
Ooh.
the rager.
Yeah.
Like Mark.
That is how I see you, though.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is exactly how I see you.
Yeah.
Sometimes you scare me.
Fiery.
Yeah, I'm pretty aggressive.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
get a little aggressive. You're
I
just
used to
very
think-
strong in what you. I'm like, oh, okay.
And I used to think that's what Sagittarius were, but when I like met you and other Sagittarius, and I always say like you're bold, way bolder in like, and I think that's the Aries.
I think my
That's
problem
Aries.
is the Aries in me is that I will fight you. So it's like I'm bold with what I'm saying and I'm stern as a Sagittarius, but there's also an extra switch where it's like, no, we
Yes.
can fight.
Yeah,
right.
Like I'm not done.
It's so funny because so what it says on here about Aries are they're competitive, playful, and action oriented.
Action. We about that action.
Yeah, that's so true.
That's
about
very
that
true.
action.
That's true.
And my boyfriend is a Aries, and this describes him to the
That's why I
to
feel
the
like
T.
when we all hang out, Marcus is like, compete. I'm like, let's go.
And I just be sitting there like, no, please.
And
I'm
he having
literally
no
in the
experience,
background.
and whenever we're competing, and I'm like, no, let's go.
They be crazy together. I'll be like, oh my gosh, how did I get these two fire signs together? This is crazy.
Scary. That's scary.
Wait, so what's yours?
My rising is Capricorn.
What does that
So Capricorns are hardworking, ambitious, and traditional.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how I see you.
Yeah.
That's how I see
They
it.
should be working hard.
That's how I see both of y'all. Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Is that your
wild.
rising too? Hayden?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
What?
That's
Me
crazy.
and Kayla are both
Yep.
Capricorn.
Okay.
I think that I definitely come off like that, especially when like at my best, I like having a lot going on actually. Like I kind of prefer it.
Yeah.
Even though I'd be like, "Ugh," but I thrive better in those situations versus having nothing to do.
Yeah.
Like that makes me feel very empty.
Yeah.
So I like being able to, and I've always been like the big dreamer type of person. So that's where I think the ambitious stuff comes from. Like I'm very much like, no, let's think bigger. Let's, the bigger the better. Like that's how my mindset goes.
And that's how when we were meeting last week, like that was literally me and Kayla during the conversation. We're like, guys, let's think bigger. Let's dream bigger.
Me and Ariel are like, okay.
Which is so funny. Okay, the next one is your moon sign.
My moon. Okay.
These are like the big three, though, right?
Yeah, those are the big three.
Yeah.
Kind of say that the rising,
the rising,
the moon and the sun
yeah.
are the ones.
Mhm.
Or-
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are the big three. Wait, let me read this thing first. It's your emotional compass, what brings security, and how you like to nurture and be nurtured.
That's interesting.
That is interesting.
How you like to
And
nurture
makes
and be
complete sense.
nurtured.
Do you know why?
Why?
Okay, so I'm going to reveal my moon.
Uh-huh.
But now that you said that, my moon is Virgo. My mom is a Virgo.
Mm.
And that is like my safest space of like just being nurtured. And I feel like we know how to show up for one
Aw.
another.
Mhm.
So hearing that was kind of weird.
Yeah. Isn't that
What
crazy?
does Virgo mean? What does that mean?
Right.
Virgo is
I'm like, this is
so, and it's
What
really
is it?
funny because Virgo is service oriented,
Oh,
Um,
yes.
cerebral,
Cerebral.
Mm.
and sensitive.
Oh, wow.
Not the yelp.
Spot on.
I'm dead.
Yeah.
My mom's a Virgo too.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So how does that
That's
show
all
up? Do you all think? Like you said, you and your mom know how to like nurture one another and be there for each other. What does that look like typically?
Okay, I'm sorry. What were the three things? I remember cerebral.
Service oriented.
Service. That was the one that got me.
Yes,
I
yes.
needed the refresher. I feel like that kind of also ties into your love languages.
Yeah.
And so when I hear service, I think of the acts of service and my mom showing up also has instilled like in a relationship, I need somebody to show me action and service. And the way I communicate, like you guys said, I can be bold or I can be aggressive, but I'm so sacrificial almost when it comes to wanting to do service for other that I think it makes it soft.
Yeah.
So if people don't have that soft
That's
element
true.
of service,
That's true.
I don't connect with them and I'm like, I don't know if I trust it.
Yeah.
You can be
Yeah.
so nice, but
Yeah.
if you're like, oh no, I don't want to do that for them, I'm like,
Yeah.
you're
Like,
not
what?
really a good person.
Yeah.
I don't understand you.
Yeah, I very much so get that because when you talk about the love languages, one of my top ones is acts of service. I am like, when people go and do things for me when I'm in a position that I need the help, that is like one of the top ways that I receive love. Because I try, like, when I can, I try to be that for other people, like show up for them. So then when I receive that in return, I'm like this just warms my heart. It fills me up. I love acts of service, like so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is we're on which one? Your moon.
We're on moon.
Asia.
I am a Pisces, and I have always said like I don't feel like the Sagittarius in me because of my like emotions and how I like, you know, like because the moon rules your emotions, and I'm very, very Pisces.
What does that mean?
Pisces are empathetic, spiritual, and imaginative.
Oh my
God.
gosh, that's not Asia.
That's my
Asia
moon
too.
sign also. We
Yeah,
have the
that's
same moon as well.
Are you
Yeah.
guys the same person?
Basically.
Yes.
We are.
Basically.
Literally. But yes, empathetic, spiritual, and
Wow.
imaginative.
Oh wow.
To the T.
Wow.
To the T.
Yeah.
That's wild.
To the T.
So yours, Iyanna?
So this is where people get confused about me. My moon is Leo.
Leos are charismatic, driven, and optimistic.
So why are they confused?
Because when they see a little bit more than just like the soft, like they're like, what?
Because Leos are fire signs.
Yeah.
So is it kind of like the confusion of two things being true? You
Yes.
can be soft,
Yes,
but you
literally.
can also be like confident. and
Literally.
sexy,
Yeah.
and people
Literally.
don't know how to accept
Because
both.
people typically only think black and white
Right.
anyways. I think people forget that like two truths can exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I always thought that about Leos in general. I always felt like Leos are they're that fire sign for sure, but they're also very sweet and like what isn't it charismatic is what
Yeah,
it means?
charismatic.
Yeah, and my son is that. And
But
I
you
can
know
see
what?
that
I
a
think
lot.
that Leo men are better received than Leo women.
I agree.
Because those sound like great qualities for a man, but I
Yeah.
feel like when you meet, maybe I don't want to like
I
generalize,
have a
but
lot
the
of Leo
Leo
women in my
women
life.
I know, I'm kind of like, ooh, it's gonna take a special kind of loving to like.
And I think it has to do with the emotion aspect. Like you said, when you see it from a guy perspective, you're like, oh, that's the perfect balance. But when
Yeah.
you see it from a woman's perspective, it's like, oh, you got an attitude, you fiery, and you emotional.
Right.
And it's just like that double, it's like, it's not fair.
And I think it's the confidence in Leo.
Yes.
The confidence is intimidating.
Every time I think about Leos, I think about confidence. And more specifically Leo women. But whenever I have met a Leo woman, there's a certain amount of confidence that they just portray. And it almost like for some people it might teeter that line of like arrogant, cocky.
So that's why so that I think my other two signs balance me out because I'm grounded like a Taurus. I'm emotional as hell and just insightful like a Sagittarius. But then like I have this confidence about me that I'm really starting to walk into now. That just like it. I feel like if I can find the balance between all three, I'll be a full encompassed like person.
Like kind of like the best version.
The best version of myself. But I can think of seasons in my life where I was too much of one thing. But now I feel like I'm starting to realize what that balance looks like.
Do you feel like the Leo is just now showing
it's
itself?
Just now. So before it was always there, and except it would come out as arrogant. And that was in my earlier years when I was toxic, and I'd be arrogantly toxic. And then I went straight back to like Sagittarius when I was full Sagittarius, and then like I started to get a little bit more grounded, and now like I'm getting back into my Leo mood where I'm like, you know what, I am that bitch. But also I'm a very flawed person and I need help.
They also say that like Leos, they are overly confident like that to cover up their insecurities. That's what a lot of people have said to me.
Now this is where I get like a little iffy about astrology because I feel like that's everybody.
That's true.
At some point you're like, I'm trying to, distract you from what I'm really
That's true. But that's the reason why I take astrology with a grain of salt. It's literally I enjoy the side of it that explains certain parts of your personality. Like that's the part that I find to be interesting. But other than that, like when they're talking about everything that's about to happen, I'm like,
I'd be confused.
And
I'd be so confused.
I think that it's good to have balance in it because you can become obsessive and so self-reliant on descriptions of what you are expected to be that you lose yourself. And then also there's a sense, like, no offense to anyone who really follows, but there's almost a sense of delusion. I feel like when people are so engulfed. They're Zodiac. Like, oh my God, I sneeze because I'm a Virgo. Right. We know.
Right.
It's like, what? Come on.
It's like I do everything like this just because I'm this sign. And I'm like...
Or people be like, I can't date this person because
that's the worst one.
This literally the worst. They'll be like, their mood is not compatible with my mood.
Like, I don't know. At first I was like, but then I was like, I don't know. Maybe I will never date another Scorpio man.
But no, they go in depth. They'll be like, their Venus is here and they're ascendant. Oh no, like and then there's like, they say like with Mercury retrograde, like planet shift and all this stuff. They'd be like, this is not the time to be dating this person. I'd be very confused.
To rule your life by it. I could see to understand yourself or to understand someone else maybe a little bit more, but like to rule your life by it.
I use it for light understanding of myself and other people.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I just want to say, I knocked it, but also my boyfriend like did a compatibility before our first date, and it said 100% soulmate, and I'm not mad at that prediction.
That's when you're like, well, actually,
you need to look at this.
Everything is correct.
Actually, since we're being vulnerable here, I did that too with my past situation, and it said the number one thing that would be the problem is trust.
And that showed up.
What it was.
Wait a minute.
Sometimes it's right though. And that's why I say you take it with a grain of salt. It doesn't mean that you look into your horoscope stuff and be like, I would never date this person. I'll never talk to them because they're X, Y, and Z. But it's like, okay, interesting. Like you can note things and keep it in the back of your mind and just use it like that.
Do you read the pattern app every day?
No.
Do you
read it every day?
I do. Only because of curiosity. I'm like, okay, what is it telling me for this?
I used to, but it just gets a little too deep sometimes. And I don't like the aspect of it ruling parts of my life. And so because of that, I limit myself.
Some of this stuff is so accurate. Mine said something about me going through this period of opening up, and it said peak dates. And the peak date was literally when I was in the pods.
Wow.
Is that not crazy?
That is crazy.
I really like the pattern because I think it also takes a different approach to astrology.
Yes.
And life is very cyclical.
Yes.
When I had the pattern, I realized how like you just really go through cycles,
Yeah.
and you have to learn and you have to accept certain things through those cycles,
Yes.
or you won't elevate, or you'll repeat it.
You'll repeat it.
You'll see like in your future you can like time hop in there.
Yeah.
You'll see 20 years you're going through the same cycle. Like, damn.
Like, dang, I thought I learned that lesson.
But that I really do think the pattern.
It's been more accurate.
It's
Like,
accurate.
accurate.
It does better than CoStar.
Yeah.
CoStar, first of all, be beating you up.
CoStar is negative.
It's bully.
It's negative.
Wait, what is CoStar?
It's just another astrology app, but it's like they're real life bullies.
It's like it'll send you. It's supposed to be astrology based, but
Yeah.
it'll send you like little quotes to kind of push you. It'll be like, "Are you wondering why no one talks to you?" You're
Yeah.
Wait,
Like,
hold on.
whoa. Like, rude.
Yeah.
It's very, and I had to delete it because it was negative.
It's demonic at this
I was
point.
like,
How about you shut up? Right. Okay. I was feeling good. Was ready.
until this. Now I'm done. Like, should I not leave my house? Should I not talk to anybody? Like, yeah, it's a very negative app. So that's why I don't fool with CoStar no more.
CoStar.
No.
Good try. You need balance.
Right.
Be bullied and be inspired.
Right.
Humble.
We love that. It's a good humbling. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
It does show a little deeper insight into some things that the pattern doesn't do. Like the pattern just became like, it has stuff on there about your horoscope, like your zodiac signs. Originally, CoStar has always been the basis of that. Pattern was just more so about the patterns that you go through, like the cycles, like what you were talking about, Ariel. That's what it focused on beforehand more.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I do believe about astrology is Mercury retrograde all the way.
Yeah,
What does that mean? What does that mean?
I do.
Because I keep hearing it. Look, Ariel.
I don't know fully what it is, but I just know that like Mercury rules like communication, technology, and
Does that
like,
have
some
anything
other
to
stuff.
do with your actual Mercury sign thingy?
It could, but that's the thing. That's where it goes so deep because like I've been seeing like tweets and stuff where it'd be like, if your something is in Libra and it's Libra season and we're in Mercury retrograde, so it's confusing. But like every single time Mercury retrograde has come around, I always witness something with technology happening, delays, and like you in like airport when you're in the airport or with emails not getting sent through, and then communication with your relationships. Like they said, this Mercury retrograde has tested relationships like never before. And I see that. You see that through the celebrities. You see that through my personal life. You see that through
Divorcing.
Right. Yeah.
But it's also about like the R words: resetting, reconnecting.
That's the pattern
something.
I was
It was
I
something
needed
else
to-
with an
yeah.
R. Yeah.
Oh,
That's really interesting. But yeah, I think retrograde is kind of real because I feel like
Every
whenever
single
I
time.
find out, like when stuff just be going crazy, I'd be like, is it retrograde? And I look it up and it is. Every single time.
I'm gonna do some research on this.
Yeah, I feel like maybe we should have done a disclaimer that we
Don't know what the
have
fuck
no
we're talking
idea
about.
what we're doing.
No.
Like, this
Y'all, this is just for
So,
fun.
you know, some people take this like
Really seriously?
So, like,
Don't come for
hopefully-
us, please.
Well, no, you can come for us. It's fine. But
Look,
we're
Ariel,
like,
I'm
here
still
goes.
back.
Right, me and Asia be the ones like, don't
Yeah,
come
no.
for us. And then they be like, come on, we don't
Come on.
care.
Yeah,
Come on,
no,
bring
come
it.
on, because we're having a good time. We're having conversations, so relax.
Yeah.
Period.
I think that it's really interesting to look. Do y'all want to go deeper into the
I'm like,
other
what is the-
signs?
how
Yeah.
I was going to ask you guys a quick question
Go
before,
ahead.
though.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know, like, how you feel. I kind of touched on it with you, like, how the big three affect your overall personality.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And how you're able to balance and take from those. And do you actively try, like, now that we know those three, do you think you'll actively try to see, like, these are things I can improve on, or these are things...
That's a great question.
I actually have. So I didn't realize what any of these things were until I think earlier this year when there was some article that came out mapping out all of our signs and stuff. And
So, I'm sorry, someone did research
Someone did it.
for you?
for all the cast members.
Oh wow.
Did you give them your birth chart?
No. But the producers at some point asked us.
But don't you need like your time of birth?
Yes, and I know what time I was born. So the producers at some point asked us and said like something. They didn't alert us though when it happened. So I just saw it. So
I was about to say,
on TikTok.
That's why this was like a security concern. Like, okay, hold on.
Hold on a second.
So they
Yeah, be
mapped them
social.
out and they compared our charts, me and Jared's. fuck, why does that keep happening?
Okay, they got the time.
Yes.
They compared your chart.
Yes.
You went,
right.
I got you.
So ever since, thank you. So ever since then, I've realized like there's a complexity to me that I just need to like figure out and balance because I've always felt I just thought I was bipolar. I was like something's like not, and I didn't understand it was because like I saw the world differently. However, I felt differently. However, like I was seen differently. However, I'm projecting different. Like I didn't realize there were all these aspects of me until I read it. And I was like, oh my God, that actually makes a lot more sense. And because I'm just aware of it, I've been trying my best to find the balance a lot more.
And I think that's so important. That's why I'm asking, because I feel like we can get so distracted by like, oh, this is my moon or this is my rising. But if you actually read these characteristics and you are self-reflective and you apply them and you're like, okay, but how can I be a better person? How can I create the best version of myself? I see the negative, connotations with this sign. Do I relate? Can I identify? Is that something I need to improve on? And I see the positives, and what do I want to blend? What do I want to show people? I think it's good.
I think for me, like, I've definitely, and I know Ajah, you could relate because we've talked about this a lot. First of all, me and Ajah have two out of the three of our big three are alike. The only one that's different is the sun sign. But because I have 2 water signs in my big three, it has been a fight literally my entire life to manage my emotions. And to make sure that I don't make hasty decisions based upon how I feel in a moment.
Ajah,
or communicate out of feeling. Like that's something that I get tested on a lot.
And probably always will.
Yeah, and my relationship with Marcus, because he's opposite of me in that he doesn't communicate emotionally, and I do. And so I have to constantly check myself and try to find ways to release, but then I get frustrated that I can't communicate emotionally. It is just a constant battle because I just have so many emotions. But the Capricorn in me, I definitely see that come out, and I think it really does balance the fact that I have 2 other water signs because I'm able to just kind of like focus and like use my emotional aspects to myself in powerful ways of like, because I'm hardworking and because I'm ambitious and I get so emotional about the things that I'm invested in. Like as long as I can direct those things in that avenue, then I can be very successful. But it's hard sometimes for me to manage it and direct it in the avenue it's supposed to go.
I can't imagine going through that.
I was going to piggyback off of that because I feel like my moon sign rules over any other sign that I have. And I've struggled with that my whole life with my emotions, like Kayla said. But I also agree with the whole, like, our Capricorn rising, that's our power. We can use it for greater things. But I also feel like with the Sagittarius in me, Sagittarius usually don't care. They're very like, hell. They don't care. They're like, oh, you want to treat me like this? And I feel like, and that's where I always felt like I couldn't relate. I'm like, I care, and I care too much. And it's just like, so I feel like for me, it's like balancing out the two, because I feel like I should care as much as I do because I'm an empath and wow.
I thought Sagittarius were empaths, or no?
They are.
I feel like I think so.
They are, but like they're also like they're not gonna take no ish.
I think we're stern. I think that we just kind of.
Is that where the bluntness comes from?
Yes.
For me?
Yeah.
Because people were like freaking out when I told Jared like, oh, I love you as a person, but I don't see the value of having you as a partner. And to me, that was just a normal ass statement.
Right.
No,
that was very blunt. That's something I probably would have never been able to vocalize.
And I realized that when I saw people's comments to it. But in my mind, I'm like, oh, I thought that was just like.
But I feel like I with you, I check in a lot because when I have conversations with people, I know what my demeanor is and what I'm saying to me seems very
normal. It just feels like
and it seems like the truth, and it's like you're like very straightforward.
Yes,
because you don't want things to be confusing. You don't want there to be like one side. Or
I want you to know exactly.
Area.
Yes,
you want to be very direct.
Yes,
and that can be a lot.
Yeah,
and I tell her all the time, like I struggle sometimes because I'm either gonna really try to soften the blow, or I'm just gonna be like, oh no, this is what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna stand on it.
Yeah. I think I'm just now realizing that I need to find some form of way to like balance
There's
that
a balance to it.
Yeah.
Because either I won't say anything at all because I'm like,
or you're gonna say it
or I'm
real
just gonna
blunt.
say it bluntly.
Yeah.
But a lot of times I don't realize that I'm saying it very bluntly.
And I think that that's also maturity because it takes time for you to have the skill to read the room.
Yeah.
And for you to just learn the people that you're talking to and that you're in relation with, like, how can I think I have this quote that I feel like I'm obsessed with where it's like, people are like, you should be able to be brutally honest with people that you love.
Yeah.
And someone's like, there should be no brutality.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
So being able to communicate clearly to someone that you care about, but also conscious of how your words are powerful.
Yeah.
And what you think is direct, how can they receive that? Do they receive that as in like, okay, yeah, you told me straight.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Yes.
It's you being able to be aware of how the person that you're communicating with is going to receive it. Because I become very absorbent of people's words. So I'm the type of person, if you say something to me in a certain way and it's negative, because I have like a perfectionism to myself, I will replay things in my mind.
So if I told
constantly.
you that I loved you as a person, but sometimes I struggle to see the value in you as a partner.
That part will replay.
Oh, really?
For me.
Same.
It will replay constantly because then I will feel it will go to I'm not valuable, I'm not good enough. That's how I get with myself. Like,
when you said that, I was like, that's real though.
yeah, it was it was very
wasn't like-
plain stated. Like you said it very the way that you should have said it.
Like it needed to be. I'm sorry. It just needed to be.
Yeah.
It did
No,
need to be
just
said.
I just
Because you
feel
know
that it's
everything.
Like, a lot of
It
people
needs
can
to be
relate
said.
to that
Yeah.
because it's like I said, with emotions for me, it's like I let my emotions make decisions for me, and it's something. If it's something that I learned in that conference that I spoke at, they said your emotions will have you broke.
Yeah.
And it will have you broke, not just obviously with money, but like with everything.
Mhm.
Wealth in general, wealth and happiness, joy, peace, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And there's this saying like, acknowledge your emotions, but let them pass.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like never make a real decision or never be so emotional and irrational that you're just like,
That's how
Okay.
I used to be.
And
You
then-
taught me that.
Yeah.
That's something that like you told me that what you do is you give yourself like the 24-hour window to feel
I
and
give
then you let
myself
them
a day.
pass.
Yep.
And I tell that to my students now. Like when I'm working with them, I'm like, today you in your feelings, that's cool. We gonna be in your feelings all day today. That's fine.
yeah.
Tomorrow we gonna start fresh.
Because if you tuck and if you say, these are emotions that I'm feeling and you don't acknowledge them because you don't know how to communicate them, you're pushing them down. You're pushing them down. You're pushing them down. And then one day you're going to have this eruption when you can just feel them. Like when I'm sad, if I'm sad, I'm sad.
You sad.
Same.
Like I'm just going to be like, I don't feel well.
That's
Yeah.
why I think there's some benefit in like allowing yourself to wallow, but giving yourself a deadline
Right.
of like, but at this point, I just have to stop.
And that's
Yeah.
why I love the Twitter trend right now. Like, get up, girl.
Yes.
Get up. Stand up.
Yep.
Because you can't be down.
I hate that one. Just because when I was going through the process, people kept stand up.
Oh God.
I want to be like, shut the fuck up. Because at that point, I was already married. What you want me to do?
Right. What you want me to do? Hell.
I'm trying.
Right.
But yeah. I can see how that's problematic.
Yeah. But I will say with the emotion thing, there's a big part of my life where I was just emotional, and my mom knew that about me. She's like, Iyanna, you're being impulsive, and I'm like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Because I thought emotions, like, you felt them for a reason. You're supposed to be. But then I went straight to just full blown logic, and I was cold, and I swear I didn't have emotions for like a good year.
And then you can tell because people are then emotionally unavailable. So
Yeah.
then they don't even know how to access those emotions because all they've done is suppress.
Agreed.
Yes.
So then dealing with emotionally unavailable people when you already
God,
you know,
it's so
elevated.
hard. It's so
It's the
hard
hardest thing,
because they don't even know how to
especially
like. They don't even know what they're feeling.
Yeah.
They don't know how to communicate. It's like down to the basic words. I feel sad. I feel mad. I feel there's no complexity there, or at least no understanding
There's
of the
no
complexity.
And
There's
because
oh my
they've
God.
suppressed it for so long, they're not even recognizing. Like a lot of times, anger stems from like sadness.
There's something. Anger is never
Or
just anger.
It's
No.
never just
Never
anger.
just
It
anger.
stems from another emotion
Agreed.
every
Yep.
single time.
Yep.
sorry, can you tell we're talking about men?
Honestly, Honestly and truly. Because a lot of times that's how they manifest their sadness, because it has not been socially acceptable for men to outwardly be sad.
But even sadness is more common. It's like, what are you actually? Are you embarrassed?
Right.
Is it pride, or are you?
There's always a deeper emotion in that.
And even that, like asking those next questions and letting them know that there's a layer with that. Like Kayla, even lately, like when you've been like, sorry y'all, I just get embarrassed really easily. I like almost forgot that you can have that kind of embarrassment even in intimate circles. So like lately I've been also a little more conscious, like, okay, if you're saying like this makes me uncomfortable, I'm embarrassed. I can't just be like, girl, what? I'm like, oh, okay, I think I felt embarrassed in this moment.
Yeah.
So like just having those conversations and being vulnerable and open can help people. Men.
Sometimes it does though. If they don't have that self-awareness, it's just gonna go in one ear and out the other. Because I realized with dealing with a certain ex that like when you even try to communicate in that way, it's a trauma response to just like go blank. They don't feel anything, they don't think it. But I also used to be that way. And I remember when I would have an extreme trauma and he would be like, talk to me, and I'd be like, I don't have anything to say, because I would be numb. Like legit numb.
And I think what comes with like even in friendships, like, or relationships, I think is such an important factor is patience. Like, if you're able to communicate, like, I can't do it. Like, I'm struggling. I'm gonna try, but it's really hard. If you're patient, I think it comes with time.
I agree.
And then some people may not be able to get there. And you have to know when it's patience, and then when
it's at your detriment at that point. It's like I can keep pouring and trying to teach, but at some point I have nothing else to give.
That's been my issue. I have a really bad helper complex, and I mean, in a way, it's pretty good in that this is the field that I'm going into. Like going into the counseling field, you naturally have to want to be a helper.
It'll give you that kind of
working with kids, you naturally want to be a helper. But it can become very draining, because when you constantly want to help others, you don't necessarily have like the meter to be able to check in with yourself and realize when you've gone too far. Like I have to stop and genuinely ask myself, like, is your cup full or empty? Like, do you even have anywhere else to pull from? Or are you just doing this out of like a characteristic that you have internally, that you just have the heart to want to help people? But it doesn't mean that you need to constantly do that, because you can't even show up and be the best version of yourself and give those people 100%.
Oh my God,
yourself first.
At some point, you just turn into somebody that's not you.
Right. And I think that's why, like, we're not going to say we're always struggle with that, but that's something that we'll battle with, because that's what we're called to. We're called to help people. But it's like, it's going to always be that constant battle. Like, you can't help people until you can help yourself.
I agree. I think that, like, that's when you have to pray for and talk to God for discernment. Because He'll start to kind of create a vision for you and for your heart, for you to be like, this isn't good for me. And something in me is telling me that I can't help you. And you'll have to do it for you. But it's that discernment that you have to learn what to pray for. Because you can't say, like, oh, you know,
hey, she'll pass.
No, let me take a step back.
No, that's real, because I just can relate so heavy to that in this season that I'm in. It's just like, I've had that discernment, but I ignored it because I wanted to help. I wanted to love, and I just wanted to give it my all, and I really just lost myself in the process.
Because in your mind, that's a good association to want to help someone. It's like this is a good thing that I'm doing, but at some point, it's like it is at your detriment.
And it will leave you in a space where you are, like you were saying, you're unrecognizable. Like I remember feeling as though, like, in this space that I'm in now, like, and I think I've said this before, just that, like, I don't recognize the person that I was before. Like, it is almost like that was a totally different person. But also, like, it is really scary when, like, to even think back about how I used to, like, pour into relationships that weren't giving anything back to me, because I think about like the fullness of who I could be if I gave to people who were giving back into me. You know, like certain pieces of yourself almost die off when you give so much of yourself to other people. Then you create like soul ties with people. You have relationship with people who have drained you and broken off bits of your spirit.
Yep.
And then it's like, I'm in this space now where I feel like I'm around all the people that like I've been praying for, that I've been wanting in my life. And I think about like bits of myself that have died previously that I could have given in this space in my life if I wouldn't have made myself so accessible to the wrong people.
Dude, sometimes I wonder if I can even get back to that version
I
of
know.
who I used to be. I mean, because even you said like before when the experience first started, like I was different.
Yeah, you
and
are.
now I feel like that part of me is just dead. Like I can't go back to that that version.
Because now you've experienced something that can allow you to go back to that place.
Yeah. And I just told Kayla this. I was like, we were supposed to go through that because we had to see how low can this get? How can I truly recognize a place that I never want to revisit again in my life?
Maybe this is actually maturity for me.
It is for me too.
Yeah.
It's molding
it just
you.
feels different, and that's why it's uncomfortable because I have to relearn myself.
Yes. And that's the thing, and that's why like we started off with the pattern, but I really appreciate that, to go back to the cycles again.
Yeah.
Because you'll go through these cycles and you'll go through a phase where you're just like, you lost yourself. You'll feel like I lost who I was. And then maybe a couple years pass and you'll look back.
It's always in retrospect.
Yeah, in retrospect, and you'll be like, that broke me, but I am so thankful for who that made me right now.
Agreed.
Okay, I have a question. It'll be a quick answer. What piece of yourself do you feel as though that you've lost that you want to regain?
My voice.
I would say my confidence.
Confidence.
I was going to say my optimism.
Mine is confidence. I think that I feel like when I was in college, that was like me at peak confidence level. I think that I've placed my level of confidence in external factors, and I want it to be internal.
Oh, wow.
So in college, I felt so confident because that's when I was doing modeling. And modeling made me feel confident. And I think it's good to find things for you to do that make you feel that confidence, but it's also such a big internal work for you to do, for you to constantly feel confident. Even if there's moments where that confidence might shift and whatnot, it's an internal thing.
Yep.
I think in this experience, what I actually lost was trust in myself. Just because of, like, when you look in retrospect, you can clearly see, like, I should have made certain decisions, and I didn't. So I think I lost trust in myself, but I gained, strangely enough, confidence. Which is weird.
Yeah.
And so now what I really need to regain is that trust in myself and my decision making.
Yeah.
Because I mean, when I also look back at my decisions, I'm like, but I tried. Like, at least, like, I really put it out there. I mean, granted, I didn't have to, but, like, I put it out there, and I did my best.
Yeah.
And so it's weird giving yourself praise.
The confidence that you gained, you also took a step with the decision that you made with trusting yourself.
Yes. Agreed.
So again, retrospect.
Agreed.
But you still have you're rebuilding, and that trust in your decision making, because you had options. You could have stayed in the position that you were in.
Yeah.
You could have avoided public scrutiny. Like you could have just gone like, I'm uncomfortable. This is not what I want. But I'm gonna stay in it. And I think to address people who are rude to you and who have so much feedback to give you, they have to understand that there are emotional layers to a relationship that they do not see.
Yeah.
So there might be surface level problems that you all address in a public space.
Yeah.
But there are emotional layers that are essential to a marriage and a relationship for it to be long lasting.
Yeah.
So whatever feedback you have, you know,
yes, I love this.
You gotta keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I admire
I know
what's
what's best for you.
I really admire your confidence in your decision making, even though to you feel like you lack the confidence in your decision making and trusting yourself. But like to have the courage to make a decision despite what the outcome is going to be says a lot about you and just like your confidence.
Yeah.
Some people will just not make a decision at all.
That's that Sagittarius in me is like, you know what? I don't have to be here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like I'm out.
I don't have to be here. You know, okay, bye.
Right.
Yeah, for real.
I'm head up.
Watching the show when you were like, yes, I moved out. I said, okay, we're here. All right. Yeah, I'm going to move back in. Like, I'm trying to let you know.
Like, I'm trying. I'm going to do it, but, you know, I'm gonna be optimistic. optimistic.
Right.
But if
Yeah.
I don't see what
I gotta put my foot down.
I gotta put it.
I gotta show you I'm serious.
That's what I
Yeah.
said.
And I think that's a fire sign thing, maybe.
That
Like,
is
I
a
gotta
fire
show you
sign.
I'm serious.
Yeah. It's like,
That's what took me so
I'm
long
walking
to
in my
gain.
fire
Oh, really?
sign now.
Yeah, that's
Walk into it,
good.
walk
Talk
into
about that,
it.
Asia.
I am in the stage where I'm like, I'm no longer gonna let my moon sign
Control
rule me
you.
and control me. I will always be the empathetic, sensitive person that I am because I know that is my superpower and my calling and my assignment and why I'm here. But it's time to walk in that fire sign, that
the
boldness,
boldness.
that courage, that just like trusting myself too, and knowing that the decisions I'm making, and I'm very intuitive person. Like after taking that personality quiz, and I'm just like, I can trust myself.
Ooh,
And I know I can trust myself. It's no longer letting my mind get to that state of that I can't.
yeah, I was gonna like that. Kind of brought up a cool question to ask you all. What piece of like your chart, like out of your signs that you have in your chart, what are you claiming that you're going to walk more in out of the signs that you do have?
It's definitely my Leo sign.
Your Leo.
I'm feeling it a lot more. There's clarity to it a lot more now.
Yeah.
And so it's the Leo that like pushes me to want to do the ambitious things that I like don't typically do.
Yeah.
Even doing the YouTube channel, I've been pushing that off for I don't know how long.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to do it. Like, what if this, and this? But I'm like, you know what?
about to do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, I feel like mine is my Capricorn. I think that I've always been very ambitious, but my issue has always been the carrying out part. I get so many ideas, so many things that I know that can bring me success, but the hard working part of my Capricorn is what I have not carried out that I want to claim more in this season, because I think that if I receive vision to do these things, then I'm meant to carry them out.
You know what I think it is though?
What?
It's the other two signs. You get so overwhelmed.
I get emotional about
that
stuff.
you just like start to shut down.
Yes.
So you really, when you walk into this Capricorn, you have to be almost type A and be like, you know what? I gotta do this. It's the planning part in order to implement it.
Yes, I have to literally schedule things out. Yeah. I have to schedule it out for myself so I don't get overwhelmed.
We're gonna
I have to sit down and say bit by bit.
Yeah, because like I feel like I walk a lot in my Capricorn sign and my moon sign. But like I said, the thing that I'm gonna walk into in this season is my Sagittarius sign. Like I feel like I never truly walked in that for real. And like
I feel that with you too, Asia.
Oh girl, I feel it. The fire's in. Like the fire's building up for sure.
What about you, Ariel?
I feel like based off of the three, I'm also going to be trying to walk into the Sagittarius. I feel like I've been very like focused. I've been very like serving to others. I've been very considerate. Like I've given a lot, and I need to I have adventures that I want to, explore on my own.
Yeah.
I have projects and passions that I want to explore for me. And I think that I need to be a little looser. I need to be okay to be like, oh, I fell. I'm going to get back up. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
And I think I've been over planning. I think I've been too Virgo. I've been like, oh no. Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's going to go like this. It's going to take me here. I'm going to see that. And boom. And I need to kind of let go and just be a little freer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not too free, because I mean, sometimes the wind will blow me away. And I'll be like,
If you let yourself go away.
You've already been in that space where you were like that too free.
And that's the thing. I think even with moving, like I've just been very like, let's pick up and go. Let's pick up and go. So that's why these past like 2 years, I feel like I've really been locked in with like decision making and sternness. And I think I need to sprinkle in a little bit more of the freeness that I once had.
It's balance, man.
Yeah.
The balance.
The balance.
Adulting is finding balance.
You know
It
what's such a funny thing? So like once upon a time, Ariel and I were gonna start a podcast together like some years ago, and we were and the first name that we thought of was The Balance or something like that.
I totally forgot.
Did you? But
I like
it was gonna be called The
Circle.
Balance, but the name that we ended up settling on that we were gonna actually call it was Almost Stable.
Yes.
I like that.
I love that one.
Yeah.
I like
Why
Almost
didn't we
Stable.
do that for us?
I didn't want to steal it because we.
Y'all could have had it. Ariel still.
She a part of it.
I know she is, but we didn't know that at first. When
That's
it first
true.
came to be,
It was just
I was
that.
like, I want no part.
Yeah, Ariel got
wanted help.
overwhelmed and she was like,
We
malfunction.
could make it a movie or something.
Yeah,
I like it.
maybe we could do something
Let's
with
do
that.
it.
We're
I just
dramatic
don't
as
like
hell. Let's do
feedback.
it.
You don't like the feedback?
No.
I feel
Yeah.
I don't like. I like defending you all. And I'm okay with that. Or just like being like, y'all forget it. But for me, I'm very sensitive.
Same.
So I know that it'll break me.
And that's the reason why I just brought that up about like people commenting about our audio and stuff like that, and how I internalize that, because it's like, this is like our baby.
Yeah.
And so to constantly see people saying,
like, we know.
Like, we know, and it's new for us.
We're working on it.
Yeah, and in anything that you do, and this is for everybody, like, there will be a starting phase where things are not going to be perfect.
Yeah.
But the point is to keep pushing and
it's
to
our
learn.
journey. It's
And
literally our journey.
Is.
Yeah.
And that's why I even tell you guys, like, I know we see the audio comments. I'm the one fucking up the audio. And I'm like, y'all, who cares? Like, let's keep it moving.
Let it go.
But to put into perspective, I think that it makes us very, forgot the word that I was going to use, but the tenacity that it is kind of creating within our work ethic, within our skin. I feel like it's making us tougher. I feel like it's important for us to fall on our face and be confident and like, we know our audio sucks right now. Like, we're going to try to get it better. We know the mics are positioned incorrectly. But they are kind of working like this occasionally, so we're going to go with it.
We're going to go with it.
It's okay. We're not trying to pretend like we know it all.
Right. That's what people so I saw comments about that, like, why is everyone creating a podcast? Like, they have expertise. And no. Like, we never claim to have expertise.
No.
Yeah.
We're just letting y'all join in on the conversations we already have about us figuring it out.
And having that, and once again, having that helper complex of wanting to share our stories and feeling as though people can potentially connect.
It's going to be
and be helpful for some people. Like, it might, like, that might be somebody's answer to a question that they, and you never know.
That's it right there, because I feel like a lot of people assume that when people do podcasts, it might be attention based, or like they want people to go straight to stardom. Once I have a podcast, listen to me, I know. But everybody isn't able to have the same community that you might have. There might be people going through things alone that feel very, isolated and don't know how to have these conversations or these connections. And just listening to other people also process their thoughts can stimulate and help move them through.
And that's why I do this. I didn't do this because I want attention. I at some point I was like, do I want to quit this? Right. To Kayla, like, but it's the messages in the comments of like people actually relating and be like, oh my God, like I've experienced the same thing, or this is helping me process, and that's why
that's the reward. Like, that's the whole reason. Right. That's the whole reason.
I miss my kid.
I could be at home right now.
Literally. And I think that has a lot to say about us as a team in general. Like, just even the amount of sacrifice that we put into this
already.
Like, and we don't need to explain ourselves to anyone, but like, truly, they don't know the sacrifice.
No.
Like, my son's not here right now. Like, and as much as I want to be with him, there's some days where I have to push through, because I know what's going to come not only from this, but everything that we do in life, to be able to create the life that we truly want.
Like what we were just talking about, like, I think that's something we all relate on, is that we want a certain amount of freedom and autonomy over our lives. Like, and this is an avenue that can create that possibility for us. Like,
I have to remember that piece. That's the piece that I forget.
By coming here and doing, and I think it's because
I don't see so long term.
Right. This is like the groundwork, and so it's kind of hard to see it right now, because it's like it isn't manifesting in a way that it's like that for us right now. But what I like, from the moment that this idea came to life and we started pouring into it, I saw from the very beginning, and that's one of my gifts that I think God has granted me with, is the gift of vision. I can see things so far out. I see the large goal, and that sometimes it works against me, because it's hard for me to... It's intimidating. It's intimidating, because I know it's so big. And I've always felt very called to big visions, big dreams.
See,
like,
this is why we have you and Asia, and then there's me and Ariel.
Like with me and Kayla, like, even though we are so much alike, there's like something that she has that I lack in, and then there's like the opposite.
It's complementary when it comes here to like here.
It's balance.
There's balance throughout. It's like a full
yang within our dynamic.
It's a full square.
Literally.
Everyone's connected in some way.
Like I feel like my faith really inspires you. Like, just how much faith that I truly have in everything that I do.
Because that's
Even when
something
it
I've
comes down to a
struggled
vision
with.
yeah.
That's something I've struggled with. Like, I've always had the vision.
Always.
It's been the faith part of that I can like push through and actually do it.
Look,
that's
y'all scared the shit out of me.
Ayanna, we be telling Ayanna we could do this, and then she be like,
what?
Is that
I'm
real?
Like, all right, so let's see here.
Look, and then Ariel always breaks it down.
Ariel be like, pipe down, pop down.
Yeah, that's it.
This is perfect. The dynamic is perfect. That's why I always say from the beginning, it was truly aligned.
Yeah.
There was not a moment that I ever questioned that.
Yeah.
Not
Did
at
we
all.
ever tell the story of how this team came to be?
We did.
We did?
On the
Okay.
first episode.
On the first episode, yeah. But it's just really inspiring and like I get overwhelmed when I think about everything that we have to do, but whenever we're in this space and we're actually doing it, I feel like, filled up. Like I get excited about it because I'm like, okay, we can do all of these things. Like this is the reminder for me of where it could go, because a lot of people, like we were talking about, do podcasts just to do them.
Yeah.
They do them because it's trendy. They do it because it's cool. They do it because they think that they're going to be able to just make money off of it. Yeah. But they're not necessarily doing like the groundwork, like us having these meetings before we come in here to do the episodes to say like, okay, the whole reason, like, we need to adjust this and this so that we can reach the people that we want to reach. And this, keeping the bigger goal in mind constantly to be able to push through. Because, like, y'all know, like, we all going through a lot of stuff. Everybody has a lot going on. Like, I'm in the thick of grad school. Ayanna is still processing through a divorce. Ariel got a full-time corporate job on top of everything. Ajah is an entrepreneur and she has a son. Like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot to maintain. And for 4 different people to be able to carve out time in their schedule to come together and do this, like, it's a big deal. It's something very special and unique in that dynamic. You know?
Yeah.
I think it's a big deal for us.
It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful.
I agree.
And I love you guys. I'm always the one that's like, I love you.
Yeah.
I think today I'm ready to say I love you.
Yeah, I love you guys. This is perfect, but I think it's a good place to kind of wrap it up.
I just started.
Stop too.
When?
Just now.
Oh, okay.
It just stopped.
Okay.
I can kinda,
How long was that?
an hour.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I felt like it was a long convo.
Like anything else.
Yeah, we could just wrap it up.
We could just wrap it up.
I just started. Okay.
Yeah, so we'll definitely be doing these more. Like, I think that this should be a monthly thing that we do
This just
with the
feels-
whole.
It feels good to have you guys in because every time we're talking, I want to look over and just
Yes.
like, y'all see me looking over.
Me and Ariel be texting each other like,
Because I know they have such great things to say.
You guys have
like,
amazing insight.
yeah, so we'll definitely do more. Let them know how much y'all loved hearing them.
I was like, oh God.
And watch them like terrible. Never do that again.
Wow. That Ariel girl, please. Her voice?
No, girl, I am honestly, I mean, not shook, but like, I'm shook. You be preaching.
What?
Right? Ariel
You really be
she's a
preaching.
That's because she's
You're very
normally
wise.
quiet, but she is very wise.
She's
Yes.
a wise woman.
Oh,
Yes.
Great vocabulary.
She-
I said,
oh, wow.
damn.
That's that reader. That reading.
I am.
I love
honored.
that. I'm
Thank
inspired.
you. Oh, stop it.
Look, we back here.
Thank you.
It's warm.
You guys bring it out of me. I feel like I
Aw.
am a very reserved, like with what I want to share, who I want to connect with. I
Yeah.
do truly, authentically feel connected to you ladies.
Stop, right?
This was pivotal. This was pivotal in our relationship.
Yeah. This is such a big deal. Okay, before we all cry, let me wrap it up. Ayanna's crying now. Oh.
Okay, I don't do tears.
She said, "For the record."
Pull it together. No, I'm just kidding. Aw.
This is
Y'all,
too
I
much.
break down when I
Oh, wow.
Oh, God.
Wow.
We have to go. Thank you all for listening to Fill in the Blank podcast. You can follow us at _me me at As Told by Kayla, Iyanna at Iyanna.amore. Ariel don't want y'all to follow her. Stop requesting her. And you can follow Ajah at Ajah Lexi. Ajah is spelled AJAH. We are all crying now. We have to go. Thank you. Until next time. Bye.